watched this movie with my grandma, and
I'm
she
sorry,
loved it.
Oh,
No, I'm just
yeah.
kidding. I'm just kidding. She would send you to church, but I loved it.
Well, thank you. We made it for people like you, Bailey. You know what's funny is, you know what? When I set out, I was like, you know what? This is not going to be like a critics type movie. Women may not like it, but we did a couple test screenings, and the movie tested higher with women than it did men. Believe it or not.
I know, but women.
So what does that say about you, Bailey?
I mean, it means that I like childish humor, and I'm okay with that. Like, women like to pretend like, oh, boys are so stupid with their jokes, but honestly, I was cackling. I was laughing so hard. So I'm sure all my friends, I'll watch it. I'll make a big group of me and my girlfriends go see it. So
I love it. Thank you.
Love that.
Obviously you guys had a good time on set. I mean, those bloopers at the end were hilarious. So I can't even imagine what we didn't see. So I want to know, what was your favorite memory on set?
James Roday was riffing all over the place, and half the time he would open his mouth, we'd all giggle and we'd have to start over. It's probably something James Roday was improvising.
You know, and that's why I loved having this cast, because these guys can go off. You know, you give them a template, and then you just kind of let them go. And between Dan and James and Nick Swartzen and Dax, I mean, these guys all, and even Kevin, they're all. I wanted them to have that freedom to go off.
Oh man, I had so many fun moments, but the monitor lizard was just absolutely crazy.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And we had our heads in there, and we had to be ready to just duck out at any moment. That was pretty crazy, but I mean, it was just so physical, that movie. At one stage, I went up to Josh because we did this. I got hit in the nose. And I was like, Josh, is my nose okay? And he looked at it, and a chunk of my nose was hanging off. He's like, oh, you're okay, just a little. And it was gushing blood.
I was terrified of doing that, the Komodo dragon scene, because I wasn't quite sure if we could pull it off.
It was so funny.
But thank you. But you never know. You know, you got animals in there. You don't know if they're, you know, how it's going to work. But that was probably the most challenging thing to shoot, because we had to be really sort of technical about it. But that was a lot of fun. I was really happy to see the way it turned out.
Yeah, it turned out great.
Yeah,
for sure. So this was your directorial debut. I mean, you wrote, directed, starred in it, and it's actually a true story. Buddy Games is really a thing you do with your friends. So what was it like bringing that experience to the big screen?
My friend Bob Schwartz and I, who I play in the movie, we call him the Bob Father, he's the guy that started this whole thing back about 20 years ago. And we just had an idea to you know, we should write a script based on this. We both love movies like The Hangover and Old School and Dumb and Dumber. We just love, you know, silly comedies, anything Fairley Brothers. And so I wanted to do something, and I also love Judd Apatow. I love how Judd Apatow, you know, his stuff is raunchy and funny, but also grounded. And I really wanted to do that. I actually talked to Todd Phillips a few days before we started shooting, because I wanted to pick his brain. Like, can you impart anything on me before we start? And he just said, you know what? You got a great group of actors. You got really funny actors. Don't let them out funny each other. Keep it grounded. Yeah. And that's what I tried to do. I let them go, but I also needed each scene to sort of push the story forward. And I just got very blessed having this group of guys who came in and really laid it down for me.
Josh was great about any kind of ideas. I think he did an amazing job. It's a really hard thing to do, direct and act.
I know.
As long as producing and being a writer on the show.
This is a very complex movie, but what is one word to describe Buddy Games?
Oh, friendship. At all costs. I mean, that's the word, is friendship. The longer definition is at all costs. I think it doesn't matter what bridges you have to cross, what arrows you have to dodge. You get through it no matter what. Friendship survives all. It's really, that's what I love about what Josh wrote here.
Twisted. I'm going to go with twisted.
Yes. It
is twisted.
Oh,
twisted in a fun way.
I'll go with Pina-colada.
Oh, my. Loved it. But thank you guys. I had the best time talking to you, the best time watching this movie, and I'll definitely bring my girlfriends to see it. So thank you so much for talking to me.
Thanks, Bailey.
Thanks, Bailey.